Hi guys, it's Nick here, and the other day I did a video of things people don't always realise about being a walking frame user. I'll pop a link up there somewhere if you haven't seen it, and I'll do an end screen for you if you want to watch it at the end. But I'm also, as well as a walking frame user, I'm a part-time wheelchair user by choice. So today I thought that I would do a video about things people don't always realise about being a wheelchair user. So the first one that I get a lot is that when I go out, if someone is pushing me, which they usually are, they're like people like who work at tills or something like that, people will talk to the person who is pushing me behind me rather than talking directly to me. And it has got to the point where if a person speaks to me first, I often end up ignoring them. Not intentionally, just because I'm so used to them talking to the person pushing me rather than to me. And this is really annoying and quite upsetting, but it actually doesn't particularly bother me all that much anymore because I don't think people realise they're doing this, to be quite honest. I think it's just something that they do without being aware of it, but that's quite common. I don't know if any of you get this as well. The second thing is that when you're sat in a wheelchair, like a lot of my friends are really tall, and it can be really hard to actually hear the conversations that people are having above you when you're sat down, and obviously they're quite far away from your ears, so it's actually a lot easier for me if people sort of crouch down by my side to talk, or if they talk a bit louder, because it's really hard to hear, and sometimes it can feel quite isolating. The third one is that sometimes it can be quite scary if you're in a crowded place and there's lots of people around you and coming towards you, and like I don't self-propel my wheelchair, so you have to put a lot of trust in the people who are pushing you. And it's not that I don't trust the people that push me, but sometimes I get a bit scared or a bit nervous in crowds because like I am not physically in a position to move myself out of the way of people who are coming towards me, and you would be surprised how many people don't notice a wheelchair coming and who just want to sort of walk in front of you or step over you, and when you're not the one in the position to move yourself out of the way of that, it can be really scary as well, because you're low down, so you can't necessarily see above everybody's heads, so there's just like this swarm of people, and it can be quite scary. The final thing two things really that I want to mention is that sometimes people don't always realise that I can walk, and that's fine, because if you don't know me then you wouldn't necessarily know, but sometimes people automatically assume that I can't walk, and that's kind of like, I don't hold it against anybody, but sometimes I would really like to be asked if I can walk rather than just have people assume that I can't. I mean, I know some people possibly feel a bit awkward about asking that question, but I would always rather people do ask it. And another thing is that I feel like I'm rambling here, but another thing is that sometimes people sort of talk to me like I'm a very small child. You know, like when you have a baby and you'll talk to them in a really sing-songy slow voice, like, "Hi baby," like, could you coo, time for bottles. And so sometimes people assume, I think, in their mind that because I have a physical disability that I also have a disability that affects my cognition, or that I have learning needs, and I don't, and sometimes they speak to me like they would speak to a small child, I think because they're worried that I don't necessarily understand what they're saying, and I do. And I know that they don't mean this nastily or condescendingly. Is condescendingly a word? Or in a condescending way, but I always do try and be polite and just sort of pretend that they haven't done that, because then if I sort of carry on how I normally would with anybody else, I would hope that anybody communicating with me would then see that I can understand what they're saying and I am able to respond and have a conversation, and that maybe next time they meet another wheelchair user, they will keep that in mind. So I hope this video was insightful for some of you, and I hope nobody is offended by any of the things that I've mentioned in this video. Wasn't my intention. Let me know what you think, and let me know if you think I've missed anything from the video. I'd be really interested to see. And if you like the video, please give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more videos. So thank you for watching. Bye!